Good day, everyone. Welcome to another agricultural science class with Mrs. Gwenika Taiwo. And today we'll be talking about establishment of pond. Pond is where your fishes are being reared, and you can rear your fish. It can be reared in an earthen pond. It can be reared using a tarpaulin pond. It can also be done. That is, you can rear your fish inside a cemented or concrete pond. But today we'll be talking about establishment of earthen pond. And under this topic, we'll be talking about establishment of a fish pond and also maintenance of a fish pond. How can a fish pond, an earthen pond, be established, and how can we maintain this pond after establishment? The first factor we need to consider in establishment of a fish pond is site selection. Site selection involves the choice of best site based on necessary conditions like a piece of land through which a perennial stream flows, that is, flow of water that does not dry. The site should be on a fertile and clay soil to prevent seepage or leakage of water. It should also have a valley with narrow neck and a fairly open area. The first factor for establishing a fish pond is site selection. The second factor is general survey. A detailed survey of the chosen site should be carried out, especially by extension workers, to determine the height of pond. Volume of earth to be used for dike, total water surface area, volume of water in the pond or embankment. So, a fish pond site must be surveyed. Thirdly, clearing or stumping of sites. This involves removal of trash, cutting of trees, and removal of stumps. Construction of dam. Dam is usually constructed across the stream. Materials used in the construction should be of a good quality. Clay soil should be used for dam construction because of its ability to hold water. Construction of corn trench. This involves the removal of the soil, or we call it excavation. This is called excavation or removal of the soil. Another means of constructing a pond is construction of spillway. Another factor, construction of spillway. Spillway is positioned at one end of the dam. Wood and wire mesh screen should be used to construct the spillway. And when we talk about the spillway, it's just the passage for water to flow over or around the dam. Next is impoundment of pond. This involves the filling of the pond with water. But before you pound your pond with water, you must do what we call pond fertilization. And this pond fertilization is done to encourage the growth of planktons. Pond fertilization is done by pouring organic fertilizer such as your poultry droppings, your cow dung, or use of inorganic fertilizer like NPK, superphosphate, to fertilize your pond. And when this is applied, this one should be carried out 15 days before you stock your pond with water. After that, we have pond inoculation. Pond inoculation is just the introduction of proper plankton species into the pond. And this is done by obtaining some water from a plankton-rich pond and pouring it into a new fertilized pond. When the pond water begins to turn green, this green water indicates the abundance of planktons, which are natural food of fishes. And to keep the water green, fertilizer is added into the pond every week. We also have stocking of pond. When we talk about stocking of pond, this is just the introduction of proper baby fishes, which we call fingerlings or frays, into the pond. How do we maintain our pond? Firstly, predators like birds and snakes should be prevented from entry into the pond, which can be done by keeping the pond surrounding clean always. Also, diseases should be prevented, as this could kill all the fishes in the pond. Adequate feeding, adequate stocking, good temperature, manuring, weeding helps to prevent diseases, and also regular harvesting of fishes. Regular harvesting of fish is necessary to prevent overpopulation, outbreak of disease, and cannibalism. Cannibalism is when they feed on each other. So if regular harvesting is done to prevent overpopulation or overcrowding, disease outbreak can be minimized or prevented, and cannibalism can also be prevented. And also, if you want to maintain your pond, this pond we are talking about can also be maintained. Your pond can also be maintained by regular weeding. It can also be maintained by regular weeding of your pond to prevent disease outbreak. When you regularly weed your pond, it prevents